Hello, peeps. A little bit later than expected. Couple of minutes later, but never mind. Those technical things, not technically minded really, but never mind. So, hopefully you can hear me and let's do it. So, okay, I would love to know how everybody's doing on this. How are you finding it? Because I find it really, really difficult, especially as I said before, I was in this world, this um, health world, if you like, the health industry. And of course, there are lots of guidelines and rules and so on that we follow in that. And to go against that, yes, okay, it's kind of hip to go against the grain, but it is ingrained in you. But on top of that, just in general, I see it on the news. I see it in the magazines, on Facebook, of all the things that are good for you and bad for you, and then and then the good things that are bad for you and are good for you, and it goes over and over again. It's so difficult to figure it all out, and you can't figure it all out. I gotta tell you, you cannot figure it all out here. And how dare I say that? I can tell you, and a top nutritionist, the best nutritionist can tell you that even they cannot be absolutely sure that what they're giving you is right exactly for you. It's a guessing game. There was an analogy. I don't know if it's true, but one of the experts said that in terms of nutrition, we are the equivalent of a 15th century doctor. Now, you think about that next time you're taking advice. Yeah. Are they going to drill a hole in your head or something? Start letting your blood to make you feel better? Are they going to tell you that the world is flat and that illnesses are caused by bad smells? Well, that sounds silly nowadays to say things like that. But in the 15th century, they believed it. Well, in terms of nutrition, it is said, I'm not saying this is absolutely true or not, it is said that that's almost the equivalent where we are in comparison. So what am I telling you here? What I'm telling you is listen. I'm going to sing. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your own wisdom. So hopefully you've been maybe doing that for about a week. As I said to you before, eat what you want, not what you think you should have. Imagine letting go of everything that you've learned about what's good for you, what's bad for you in terms of food, in terms of exercise, in terms of health. Imagine letting go of all of those things and just starting from ground zero and working up to figure out what's right for you. Wouldn't that be amazing? Because if you plant in your head that a cucumber is bad for you, and I'm living proof of this, not a cucumber, but that if you put in your head that a cucumber is bad for you, and then you eat it anyway, despite it, because you're trying to show the world that you can do it, because you've got that in the back of your head, you'll probably have a little bit of an intolerance or an allergic reaction. I did this week. Here's my confession, so to speak. I don't feel that great because I've been eating what I want. Now, the one thing I have been doing is, as I said to you before, I've been eating roughly. I haven't stuck to it absolute 100%, but roughly I've been doing the 8 hour window. So I start at 11, finish at 7. And then there are a couple of times we were eating a little later. So I started at 12 and finished at 8. Now, again, you might think that is horrible. You can't survive without that food first thing in the morning. Well, that's okay. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just saying what I'm doing, okay? Because I want you to find your rhythm, find your way that will work for you. Now, the reason I'm saying that this is working gradually is because initially, if you're looking at weight loss, you'll restrict yourself. If you're looking at weight loss, you're going to avoid certain foods and so on. I want you to just eat whatever the heck you want. And you will, or you may even put on a little initially. Now, we've got this fear that if we put on weight, oh my God, we'll never lose it. Trust me, you will lose it, but it will be more gradual. This is not a 10 pounds in 10 days type thing. This is a find what works for you. And it may be a little uncomfortable at first. It has been for me this week. Maybe a little uncomfortable at first, but then you'll suddenly start to really notice the foods that work for you, really notice what works for you in terms of exercise, really works for you in terms of sleeping patterns. And all of a sudden, you're living the life according to your body, according to your needs, according to your lifestyle. And all of a sudden, you'll find that without realizing, you've lost all the weight, the excess weight. You've found your perfect, ideal, healthy weight. And some people fear that, oh my gosh, what if my healthy weight's too big? It won't be. It's because, again, that's the illusion. That's what we've been led to believe, so to speak. Your healthy weight will be your healthy weight. You will look good in your healthy weight. There's no doubt about it, because you'll be healthy and you'll be happy and you'll be so content, and it makes a complete difference. I've had that, and I sort of went off the bandwagon, unfortunately. Luckily, I know what it feels like, and I know how to get back to it. So I said, eat what you want, not what you think you should have. Let go of anything. Now, obviously, if you're allergic to nuts, don't have nuts, right? I mean, that would be a little over the top. And if you've got some sort of eating disorder, like bulimia or anorexia, then obviously the intermittent fasting is not for you, and not for you yet. Now, hear me out on that. I know I'm going against the grain, but I truly believe, and I believe, I mean, it's the truth. It's not my truth. It's the truth. When you find your intuitive sense, you may find that even those addictions, those allergies, those, eating disorders actually start to fall away. Now that sounds very, a big statement. I appreciate. Listen, just go for it. Eat what you want. And here's my next suggestion for this week. Eat what you want. If you wish, go within that window, the 8-hour window. It could be 10 to 6. It could be 12 to 8. It could be whatever you want, 8 till 4 if you wish. That's just a suggestion. Eat what you want. I really want to push you to do that. Forget about everything you've learned about weight loss and just notice when you're full. So for this week, just notice when you're full. Now, initially, that's going to be a tricky one because we've sort of turned that intuition off. There's a thing called, I was going to say, what was it? The V spot. I was going to say the G spot. The V spot right here. And what a coincidence, right? I always point here. And it is the V spot. It's right at the top of the stomach. And there's these little sort of villi, right? So that's why it's called the V spot. These little villi. And what they do, they activate when you're hungry, right? And the things are going, your food's going into your stomach, and these things are going like crazy. And then as the stomach gets fuller and fuller, these slow down and then eventually come to a stop. And when they come to a stop, that's a signal to your mind, to your brain, that you've eaten enough, that you're full. And what happens over time is we override that. So we're stuffing more and more, and we're trying to get our stomachs bigger and bigger. But over a period of time, not initially, I appreciate, over a period of time, you'll start to notice those subtle things, those subtle little little instructions telling you that you're full. The best suggestion I can say now, remember you can eat as much as you want, but just stop when you're full. So if you feel you're not quite sure, just stop before you're full. Remember, you can eat again later. Or maybe just when you're eating the plate, don't join that freaking clean plate club. You know, that came from World War II, for crying out loud, when things were scarce and, you know, there's starving children, you got to eat all that. No, you really don't. It is not going to serve them or you by eating everything on your plate. When you are full, if there's one Brussels sprout and it'd be a shame to waste it, leave it. You can eat again later. We're not living in a society where there may be a scarcity of food necessarily, certainly in our Western world. So just leave it. So eat what you want. Just stop when you are full or think that you are full. Okay? Just try that out for this week and really notice, really start to get intuitive about it. Just really give yourself a pat on the back when you notice that you stop and you think, that's good. Even notice when you override it, because that's good too, because you're starting to become aware. That's what we want, is that awareness, because once you get that awareness over a period of time, eventually it just becomes second nature. And then you just eat what you want, you stop when you're full, and you have the amount of nutrients and the amount of food that you need. And what will happen is your your food choices will start to integrate and start to change specific for you. That's over this period of time. So remember, please send me your questions. Send me your comments. Tell me what's happening. If you get stuck, let me know. I can help. It's what I used to do this for a living every single day. I mean, I still am coaching and so on. That's what I do. So let me know. Use me while I'm here, okay? All right. I'll see you next week. And in the meantime, again, if you have any questions, just send them to me. So eat what you want, but stop when you're full, or maybe just a little bit before. Okay? You take care.